the Aaron Rodgers saga, and we're going to actually find out. But if you're Pittsburgh, you got to be getting a little squirrely there in terms of your quarterback room. Not having a guy that you have proof of concept can win in this league at a high level.
Unsportsmanlike is brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. Going out, staying in, either way, you're earning cash back with Saver. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Yes, Smalls, that was the quickest I think you ever got it. Normally you forget that you're talking in that spot.
Well, it's because I have it on paper this time.
Okay, good. All right, that was very good.
And that was hard because, you know, I love the Yin Yang Twins, so.
Sure, yeah, we all know that you love the Yin Yang Twins. This is the first I'm hearing that you love the Yin Yang Twins.
What?
Am I supposed to know that you love? Are they from St. Louis?
No.
Did you know that she loved the Yin Yang Twins?
I didn't know that she loved the Yin Yang Twins. I assumed.
We're all of a certain age where you came up with the Yin Yang Twins.
I just didn't know that Smalls and Yin Yang Twins were like a connection.
I saw them live once in Aspen.
You saw the Yin Yang Twins live?
That's random as hell. The Yin Yang Twins in Aspen? What were the Yin Yang Twins doing in Aspen?
Performing, obviously, and Smalls was there at the concert.
So when I was in college, there was this program where they came to various big schools and they had a deal, a great package for you to go on a ski trip. It included your airfare, your lodging, your gear, your lift passes, drinks, all this stuff for a very, very comfortable price. So many kids from Illinois were like, yeah, winter break, let's go skiing, let's go to Aspen. So there were hundreds of us that went, and part of the package was that there was a Yin Yang Twins concert.
What the hell are the Yin Yang Twins doing hosting a concert in Aspen?
I don't know, but it was amazing. It was so fun.
I just tweeted out of the radio. The out of context Smalls lines. I saw the Yin Yang Twins in concert in Aspen. What?
I did.
That is wild, man.
It was like 2008, maybe.
All right.
And think about that. They were hot. They were popping then.
Did not have that on the board today. No.
Yeah.
Did not have that on the board.
I remember when I saw Murphy Lee perform in Nebraska once. It was great. Oh, yeah. Okay. St. Lunatic. Sorry. Okay. Anyway.
He's the best.
Now I'm going to...
Very underrated, Murphy Lee.
I don't think so. All right. Yesterday on Get Up, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN with Greeny and Hembo and company, Louis Riddick, ESPN NFL analyst, had an interesting thought about Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers as we are closing in on the due date, or the deadline date that CC has given them of tomorrow. You better get it done. Here is what Louis Riddick had to say.
Well, I mean, look, obviously Pittsburgh has put themselves in this position by being willing to continue to wait for him. Obviously, they also know that with every organized activity that he misses, that is one less chance for him to kind of ingratiate himself to the rest of the locker room, learn the offense, really kind of develop chemistry, all the kind of things that, you know, I think sometimes maybe people get tired of talking about because it's an intangible thing that you can't really quantify, but you damn sure can quantify when the season starts. And all of a sudden the wide receiver and quarterback are all on the same page. They're arguing on the sideline. Relationships start to fracture. See, those are the things that right now you're making the likelihood of that happening increase exponentially every single day that he's not there. And really at this point, I mean, I don't even know if it even makes sense anymore. I don't know if it'll give them the return that I said early on back in February. Like, he is the kind of guy that they actually need. He needs Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needs him. It made sense back then. I don't know if now they'll get their return on investment.
Okay, so I want to just give a little context on Lewis's background. Everybody knows he's a great NFL analyst. I think it's important to note, Louis Riddick was a phenomenal defensive back who played for multiple teams, including in Cleveland with Belichick and Saban. Period. Next sentence. In addition, he was a scout. He was a director of personnel with the Eagles. This is a man that both did it on the field and in the front office and now doing it broadcasting. So he sees all sides of this, right?
And he was in multiple front offices. He was in the Washington front office as well.
I think it's important to note that because he's talking both from a player perspective and a team building perspective. And he's saying, I thought, CC, your conversation as a player and an analyst was always, I never thought this worked. From the beginning. He's saying, I thought this would work, and now because of my experience, I think it's too late to work, which is an interesting change. What did you make of what Louis had to say there?
Yeah, I agree with it. It's ultimatum time for the Pittsburgh Steelers when it comes to the Rodgers of it all, because you put yourself at a distinct competitive disadvantage, which each day passing, each practice passing, all of your opponents are getting better. Everybody around the league is getting better because they know who their quarterback is going to be week 1. You don't know who your quarterback is going to be week 1. And I know they framed it around them being comfortable with Mason Rudolph. He was a starter there once upon a time. But the reality is that they want Aaron Rodgers, and we heard from Adam Schefter this week and prior to that saying that if they miss on Aaron Rodgers, that they would potentially pursue a Kirk Cousins trade. So it's clear that the Pittsburgh Steelers feel like they have to upgrade from what they already have in their quarterback room with Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard. I agree with that logic. I just don't understand why it's taken them so long to pull the trigger on making a decision.
I can't understand it for the life of me. I've been confused by this from the outset, and I remain confused by this Aaron Rodgers and Pittsburgh Steelers dynamic. And I think that's a good word, dynamic, because it's not a relationship yet.
No.
It's
a situationship.
It is a situation.
We don't know. We're in the gray.
Is he going to text me? Is he not going to text me?
Somebody likes somebody a lot more than the other person.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
a situationship.
Now, I have a question for you, Cece, because I was thinking about this last night. How do the guys in that locker room feel about this? Because if Aaron Rodgers does ultimately sign there, and these guys have been committed to the Steelers and committed to building something together up until this point, and Aaron Rodgers was taking his time being like, meh, let me see if there's anything else out there. I'm not quite sold on you, and acting that way. How do the other guys in the locker room feel about that now? And then if things go left in the season, is that something that bubbles up?
Answer that coming up. Good question.
Thank you.
We're going to answer that coming up because is that now at a point in the locker room where they're just like, peace out, we're done, right? Like Small just said, we can't do this anymore. Or is it still by training camp or mini camp, whatever it may be? Plus, have we mischaracterized what the Steelers are? We'll whisper in your ear next. We're on Sportsman Mike, presented by Progressive Insurance.